Welcome back. Today we are going over a 2025 legal deck list for Raging Bolt EX. So I know a lot of people are going to be looking at this deck. They don't want to try and get their hands messing around with all those different Terra Pokemon and everything new that's coming out, and they're going to stick to the reliable Raging Bolt. So here's a list that will survive the rotation moving into the 2025 season. Starting off, our primary attacker, Raging Bolt EX. The main attack here is going to be Bellowing Thunder for 1 electric, 1 fighting, 70 damage for each energy that you discard from your Pokemon. This can be incredibly powerful, get huge attacks going right away, hopefully looking for going second, obviously, because this is a turbo deck. We want to go second. And so hopefully we're finding a 2-prize knockout on turn 1. So absolutely huge staple card. It is the attacker of this deck. Moving on, we have Squawk as one of our support Pokemon. In here for its Squawk and Seize, which is once during your first turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6. This is great. It's staple in many turbo decks because we're trying to get attacking right away. And so if our hand just isn't giving it to us, we can either play him down or we can nest ball him out. And then we can get those attacks actually rolling, which can be huge. Motivate is also its attack, 1 colorless, 20 damage. Attach 2 basic energy from your discard pile to your bench Pokemon. We rarely use this, but it is nice to have in very specific situations. We also have Teal Mask Ogerpon in this deck. This pairs very well with Raging Bolt because it allows us to accelerate energy out onto our field very quickly using its Teal Dance ability, which allows you to attach a grass energy from your hand to this Pokemon. If you do so, you may draw a card. So not only is it getting us that energy to discard with Raging Bolt, but it's also a great draw support. Drillbur's in here because we are going to be losing Radiant Greninja, which is in majority, if not all, Raging Bolt decks right now. This allows us to, when we play it from our hand to our bench, the Dig ability triggers, which lets us search for 3 basic fighting energy and discard them. This allows us to solder them back onto our Raging Bolt right away, so this gets some energy in our discard for us to utilize. Pheasantipity EX is in here for if and when something gets knocked out, which obviously it is very likely to happen. Squawk at 160 HP, Teal Mask at 210, Drillbur at 70. It's very common to lose and give up multiple prize cards from these Pokemon. But thankfully we have Fez in here to give us the ability to pull all those cards back and really keep going once we suffer a knockout. Sandy Shocks is in here so it can be non-ability for attacking into Cornerstone Ogerpon, as well as a non-EX to attack into like Mimikyu. So this is great against stall decks, and this is going to be our attacker when we can't lean on Raging Bolt. A bit of a cheese card in here is going to be Cornerstone Ogerpon. In here for its Cornerstone Stance, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon with an ability. A little bit of a cheese card, I'm going to be honest, but yeah, it's nice in certain situations, especially against if it's like your only card that you can top deck. Most of the time it's going to allow you to stall especially against like Charizard decks and other things with ability. Also pretty solid, very solid. I'd like to correct against decks like Miraidon who are using Raikou's as attacker. But we're not going to have to worry about that because this is a 2025 list, and so a lot of those cards are going to be cycling out. So everything with ability is going to get locked down with Cornerstone. Depending on some of the new cards we get, we might be taking Cornerstone out to make room for some more utility in this deck. We also have Tatsugiri. This is great if you have it in your starting hand and you play it to your active when you start the game, due to its attract customers, which is once per turn. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal a supporter, and put it into your hand. This is going to be finding this main purpose is to find us our Professor Sadas. Excuse me. After our first turn, though, it becomes decreasingly useful because we have such strong draw power with our Teal Masks. It also has a 1 retreat cost, so very nice, very easy to get out of the active if we have to. Moving on to our trainers. We do play 1 counter catcher. We don't have, unlike our Goldango list that we went over the other day, we don't have a way to give our opponents a prize card. They have to take it themselves. So this one isn't as pivotal or as targeted as in our Goldango list, but it's still very useful to have. If you're losing that prize race, it lets you get your foot in the door for sure. Bug catching set. This is going to find us our teal masks as well as our 8 grass energy that are in this deck. Item card, great search card, lets us get energy into our hands so we can put it onto our teal masks as a draw engine, or it lets us just get those teal masks and the energy so we can do it all in one. So very, very useful card in this deck. Great draw engine. Precious Trolley is our A-spec of choice, finding any number of basic Pokemon and putting them onto our bench. This is going to be great for setup. Turn 1, maybe finding a Squawk, setting up our teal masks right away, getting as many of those as we can, and obviously getting our Raging Bolt if we're having a hard time, because as we all know, Raging Bolt is pretty much the gusto of this deck. It is the attacker. Obviously we have Cornerstone and Sandy Shocks as backups, but it's really just Raging Bolt doing all the work, and we absolutely need one of those. So Precious Trolley just lets us fill our board space, get into a beautiful board state, and yeah, sets us up for the whole game. Energy Switch. This is because of Cornerstone's attack, which is very expensive. It is 1 fighting and 2 colorless. So if we do, in fact, want to get a Cornerstone online, we're going to probably Energy Switch onto it, as well as if we have a Pokemon in the active, we can use a Teal Mask to move an energy from the Teal Mask to our active Pokemon, and then we can retreat it into our Raging Bolt, which is going to allow us to get that turn 1 attack, because in order to attack on if we go second, that's what we want to do, go second. If we want to get that turn 1 attack off, we need to play our energy for turn, and we need to Sada in order to get all the energy we need onto our Raging Bolt. So if we have something that needs to retreat out of the active, Energy Switch is going to do that for us. Energy Retrieval. This is going to be used to rebound after we use Raging Bolt's attack. Lets us get grass energy back from our discard, just so we can discard it right away, or Teal Dance it back onto our Teal Masks, and then discard it right away for even more damage output. Just maintaining it throughout the whole game is beautiful. Pokegear 3.0. This is going to find our boss's orders in Sada, which are the only supporters in this deck. And yeah, its primary purpose is getting that Sada so we can find her turn 1 and get attacking right away. Palpad, bringing our Sadas and bosses back from the discard, is really nice because it just gives us a little more extra draw, as well as I hadn't thought of this until I did it a few games ago, is if you're getting decked out, because this is a very powerful draw engine. So if something does manage to tank your attacks and it's not just doesn't want to go down, and you almost accidentally deck yourself out, I actually used a Palpad to put 2 bosses back into my deck, and it gave me that extra turn that I needed to draw, and I was able to get the win. So very nice card to have in here, getting our Sadas and bosses back. Nest Ball, obviously we're finding those basics that we need to set up, finding our Raging Bolts, finding our Squawk if we have to on turn 1, and of course finding our Teal Masks is going to be the primary purposes. Then we have our Ancient Booster Capsule. This is going to be to bring our Raging Bolts up to 300 health, so that puts it out of reach for a lot of different attacks, or makes it so they have to discard more energy on decks like Goldango or decks like Raging Bolt. So mirror matchup, this is going to help us a lot, as well as it makes our Sandy Shocks 180 HP, so just a little bit more beefy and very much so useful in this deck. 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Obviously, stable card. Pull what you need forward to attack it. Great card to have in here. Professor Sada's Vitality is like the main trainer card in this deck that's going to be making things work. Choose up to 2 of your ancient Pokemon and attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to each of them. If you attach energy in this way, draw 3. So this is going to allow us to get those 2 energy onto our Raging Bolt turn 1. And then obviously you can kind of piece it together. It pairs with our Drillbur here, because this lets us get those fighting into the discard. Then we just have to attach an electric for turn and Sada that fighting back. So This is where not only is it a good draw engine from the draw 3, but it allows us to get those attacks going right away. Very, very powerful card in here. 3 copies of Ultra Ball. So not only is this going to find us whatever Pokemon we need, but it allows us to discard. So if we can't find our Drillbur or any other way to discard, we can use this to get either a electric or a fighting into our discard pile, so then we can Sada it back. So a little more extra purpose. Um, Also, you can nest ball into your Drillbur, which will then allow you to play it from your hand to your bench, versus if you use a nest ball, your Drillbur is going to go straight to your bench and you won't be able to trigger its dig 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 ability. So nest ball has a few different, or excuse me, Ultra Ball has a few different uses in this deck. Switch, again, if we get something stuck in the active and we want to get it out, since we have to play our energy for turn onto our Raging Bolt in order to get that turn 1 attack, we do play a copy of Switch in here. Earthen Vessel, we do play 4 of them, lets us discard and search for 2 basic energy cards. This is going to almost always give us the option to use our Teal Dances and get that attack off right away. So very, very powerful card in this deck, and more times than not, we're going to be finding at least one turn 1, which is going to allow us to get a win, or at least maybe sometimes a donk. As for the energy, we do play 3 electric and 3 fighting. The 3 fighting, more times than not, will go away with dig dig dig, or you can just play it as normally. This is going to allow us to get 3 Raging Bolts online simultaneously, which is totally unnecessary. But it just makes sure that we're able to find at least 1 of each, which is what we need. And then we do play 8 Grass Energy, which is what we need for our Teal Dancing. So we can find this typically with our bug catching sets, and then we can Teal Dance it on for even more draw power. So really letting us cut through this deck and finding what we need when we need it. And yeah, that's the 60. This is a 2025 legal Raging Bolt deck. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into a play test here. And yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments. So we're hopping in doing this play test with our 2025 legal Charizard deck. I am recording this the next day. With this deck, it is a turbo deck, so we are looking to go second. Yeah, the reason we're hoping to go second here is just because we have so many ways to get Bellowing Thunder going right away, and not really so many ways. It's really just Professor Sada's and attach for turn, and then we can use our Ogre Pawns to attach a lot of energy. No, we do not want to go first. And that will allow us to hopefully dish out enough damage to either get a turn 1 donk or deal enough damage to put him behind. We do have Squawk. That's really nice. Yeah, we're gonna Squawk this hand away, I think. We're gonna attach for turn. No, we won't. Maybe we will. I think I'm going to Earthen Vessel and just grab 1 electric, attach the electric for turn, and then Squawk. Because then if I get a Sada, I can put the fighting on. It does look like we are playing against Miraidon. Probably should have been a given when I saw the coin at first, but oh well, nonetheless. Wouldn't have set up any differently, so. Took him a while to decide to pass there. I wonder if he's got something he wants. So we'll nest ball out. Come on, game. Nest ball out that. And then Earthen Vessel away. It doesn't even matter because we're going to Squawk it. 1 electric. Attach the electric. Squawk it all. See, and then we can Sada that. We can go here. Grab ourselves another Teal Mask. Vessel. Dump in the Ultra Ball. double grass, and yeah, I mean, this just goes to show just how powerful this deck is. Let's go there. Go there. Professor Sada. Put the fighting onto Raging Bolt. Attach the capsule just because why not? Thunder. So is that 70, 140, 210. Knockout on Raikkonen. And we'll see if our opponent concedes there or if they think they can make something work. Usually, Miraidon is going to be able to make something work because if he has an Arven or something in hand that he wasn't able to play because he went first, he'll be able to find Nest. Oh, well, obviously he did not. Kind of curious what his hand looked like. Oh, it doesn't tell you. Tragedy. Okay. Well, yeah, that was a perfect display of what this deck is capable of. A nice little rank up. Seeing as that was only 4 minutes, I think we can hop into another one here. Alright, so last game was a disconnect, so I'm not gonna make you guys watch that. It was just 2 minutes of me waiting for him to pick what was going on for the coin flip. So, alright, that's good. We want to go second with this deck. Ooh, that's a nice starting hand. That is a nice hand. The only issue, oh, we're playing another Raging Bolt mirror matchup. The only issue I foresee is not going to be able to discard one of the energy that we need to have in the discard in order to Bellowing Thunder right away. Although him playing Raging Bolt, I wonder why he's choosing first. I wonder if he's just new to the deck or I mean he's playing highest rarity everything, so he also got a very active turn 1 hand. This looks like we're gonna have a pretty solid game here. Carmine. Go first during first turn, discard your hand, draw 5. So he goes first because he plays Carmine in particular. Okay. Does that mean he doesn't play Squawk or does he play both? Okay, let's see what we can do here, I guess. Oh, that's not a good sight. No hits and 1. Okay. Obviously not ideal. We can draw into an energy here, that'd be perfect. Energy switch. Okay, this is actually kind of not great. I mean, it's certainly not a bad thing. That's for sure. See, now the only issue is we have no way to discard this stuff and draw. Kind of hurts me to burst roar this, but on the other hand, if he does get knockout here, we have nothing to work with, so we are going to go for the burst roar. Now that's a much better hand. We did get our Sada back, we got our Pal Pad to get Sada, and now that electric energy is in the discard, so if he doesn't get knockout here, we will on our turn. Sada's Vitality for sure, yep. Alright, does he have an electric in hand? He does. So it is a 4 discard to knock out. which he's obviously going to have. Probably another teal mask. Does he have the other energy? Oh, now he does. Yeah, we can see a few differences in the decks. Like they have Carmine and Judge, seem to be the only ones so far. Bellowing Thunder, discarding 4 per knockout. And then, see, if we didn't Burst Roar that last turn, we would be in a very difficult spot. So I think we Ultra Ball away Ogre Pawn and something, maybe something we draw, maybe Pal Pad, we'll see. Not in the best spot here. Oh, we do. Top deck Raging Bolt. Get drawn. Because now that we don't have any energy attached to our Raging Bolt, we have to find one. There we go. That's huge. Almost want a Nest Ball for another Raging Bolt. Because we know he can answer. We don't have any energy in hand, so I think that is going to be the move. Put the fighting on there, logic on there. Draw 3. Trolley. Grab ourselves Ogre Pawn and sure, Sandy Shocks, why not? It's another ancient Pokemon and it's a 1 prizer, so that draw. We're already gonna retreat into our other Raging Bolt here. They've all used those. They're gonna Pal Pad back the 2 Sadas in case our hand gets Ionoed here. And I think that's about that. We could, no, we already attached. So again, it is a discard 4. So we are gonna, yeah, we'll just get 4 grass. So there, we missed the first. We are behind in the prize race if he can get knockout here back. But if he does get knockout, there's our Fez as backup. And we'll be able to Earthen Vessel for a fighting. So we do get to respond, thankfully. Very solid mirror matchup we got going here. He's gonna Sada. See, that's why you get the Sandy Shocks in play, because then you can get 1 more energy to Sada because it is an ancient Pokemon, thankfully. I was almost thinking about taking Ogre Pawn out for a Slicer Wing, but I do like having the Ogre Pawn in there just kind of as a cheese card. He's just looking for that 1 extra grass energy to put on his other Ogre Pawn. He is discarding pretty quick here. 4 in the discard from his 1 attack. And he's going to have to do it again here. So then there's the question of how many energy retrievals and superior energy retrievals does this guy play in his list? burning through the Poke Gears here. Bellowing Thunder, discarding 4. Interesting. Okay, so he is going to look to actually attack with that Ogre Pawn. How much is he dealing right now? Was it 30 plus 30 for each? So 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. Interesting. We're going to do this just to hopefully thin a little bit is what we're looking to do here. And I definitely made a mistake there. I probably should have grabbed a fighting energy in case we don't bump into our Sada. Oh my gosh, did I just do that? Oh, huge. Okay, hopefully it's not too detrimental. Oh, that was really bad. I'm sure it's fine. We do get booster capsules, so the only fear here really is going to be ooh. How much are we doing? Enough. So we are going to counter catcher his Ogre Pawn that he was charging up. Grab that energy retrieval for 2 grass. So even though we didn't get the start off right away, I think we're able to come back here though. I may be speaking too soon. He might be able to just boss into some easy knockout here. So is it 4 discard again? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now he has no energy attached, but he does have Sada in hand. We know that much. He has 8 cards total. So it's very likely that he's able to respond here. He cannot Sada and boss in the same turn, which is a good thing. We do play 2 boss's orders in this deck, and we haven't found either of them. We only have 14 cards left. Superior Energy Retrieval, so he's probably going to get some grass back, maybe an electric or a fighting, or both, who knows. So hopefully we can bump into that last boss and bring forward a Teal Mask to finish this thing out. But we'll see if he can respond and take the win here. Sandy Shocks does have a retreat cost of 2, so I think he doesn't. I don't think he has the answer unless he found it, and now he's gonna switch. Is it 5 discard? Cancel and clone. That doesn't. I don't think that does anything. No. He does have to discard. He needs. Oh wait, no, he has it. Okay, so if he can switch into his Sandy Shocks, yep. Prime Catcher. Alright. GG's. Well played, well played. Yeah, the switch card anyway, so. There it is, his last 2 prize cards. So we did lose the mirror matchup, but as you saw, very, very close. This deck is very, very powerful. So yeah, if you're looking to keep using Raging Bolt through 2025, I would definitely give this one a shot. I did see that he also had a Radiant Greninja in there, which we'll be cycling out. So yeah, I don't know. Good list. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely week.